Welcome back to another Wind Down Wednesday with your girl Soulz Journey. Listen, baby, I am sitting here on the porch with Kimberly Weeks. Hey, Miss Kim, how are you?
How are you today?
I'm doing good. I cannot complain. We are still in the land of the living, right?
In the land of the living, and that's a blessing.
Yes, that's what I always say. We woke up. We above ground, baby. We above ground. We got another chance to do it.
Right, and do it better.
Exactly. So listen, Miss Kimberly, tell the people who you are.
Hello, my name is Kim Weeks, and I am founder and friend at The Empowered Worldwide. It's an organization created to help women and girls walk in emotional wellness. I am also wife, mother. I work in the education system here in Horry County. I am faith, family, and community driven.
Yes.
I am mother to a blended family, and but right now empty nested, living on the in Myrtle Beach by the water, and I'm just enjoying life.
Yes. Oh, it's nothing better than living by the water. Oh my God, how are you enjoying that?
I am loving it. It was a little bit of a challenge at the beginning to adjust to living in a different place, but this is my sanctuary.
Yes, I always call Myrtle Beach my happy place.
Yeah.
I love it. I love the water. I just love the water, period. So, yeah, that's awesome. So now, Miss Kim, talk a little bit about your book.
Oh, yes. I wrote a book that was really a culmination of journaling over probably the last 20 years. I just took some things out of that and kind of just wrote my life, my journey from being into freedom. I'm going to say I came out of a lot and walked into freedom, and that's what this is about. So I chose the title, The Evolution of Rahab, because that character in the Bible resonates with me. A lot of people choose the goody two shoes, or the victor, and not that she didn't end up being victorious, but she started out in a very what we consider a bad place, right? She was a harlot, but she ended up being the reason why the children of Israel's spies were not murdered while they were spying out the promised land. And so I resonate with the fact that she not only was a wise woman, because she had sense to make a plan to get herself out of her situation, but she was definitely family oriented. It wasn't about just her. It was about her taking care of the people that she loved the most. And she was definitely already a believer of the Holy God that we serve. So she and I resonate in so many ways. I talk about in my Bible how sexual promiscuity was so much a part of my growing up, along with some molestation and some misuse and abuse from men or boys in our area. And so this just gives some validity to my nonprofit, which is to help women and girls kind of come up out of those things. We don't all have the same trauma, but trauma does the same thing to everybody. And so we want to help make sure that they're well and they're happy, whole, and they're walking in their own freedom.
Absolutely. Oh my gosh, I love that. And I connect to you in so many ways as well. A lot of things that you just named are a lot of things that I went through as well. So I definitely connect to you. And I think that's why my spirit connected with you and had me to reach out to you. So I thank you. I really thank you for being here and being able to share your story and also going on that journey of healing. because a lot of us don't even recognize it within ourselves, and we don't know where to start in the healing process. So, what were some of the ways that you recognized it and started your healing journey?
I will say that my healing journey came by way of church. So my growing up, I'd always gone to church. You know, I was a little girl in the choir, a little girl ushering. Couldn't wait to get to Bible study and vacation Bible school and all of those things, because it was a place for me to, to fellowship, to make friends, and and I felt comfortable and safe there. And so I did this all the way up until my early teen years, and then it started to wane. I wasn't one of those people made to go to church. It was a choice. It wasn't a way of life for my mom and my mother, but they never stopped me from choosing my path. So I went to church. And after my middle years and I fell kind of off from that, that's when I started to experience a lot of the things that happened, or the trauma that became a part of my life, was that I was not in church at all. Okay. I was in them streets. I was out there. I was ripping and running, and I was a long-legged, cute little girl running around with no parental, guidance and that kind of stuff. So, a lot of things happen. So I got pregnant. I started to, when I got pregnant with my daughter, I started to think, like, what kind of mom do I want to be, right? So one of the things I decided was church was necessary, right? I wanted to give that safety and stuff that I felt to my children. And so I went back to church while my children were baby. And, but then I went hard, right? I got real religious. Okay. And what I mean by that is, I was so caught up on that thou shalt not. You can't go here. You can't go here. You can't look like this. You can't dress like that. You can't. And some of that was necessary for me, because there were some things that really did need to fall off. Right? But that rigid lifestyle became my life, a part of my kids' lives. I divorced eventually from my first husband, and then I kind of over there. We got married, we got divorced, and that's how that went. But he was part of my trauma. So all fit together.
Yes, and also part of the healing. Because if you never had that trigger, you would have never had that journey to healing. So he played a essential role in that. Right. I could relate to that part too.
Really?
Yes. Okay. Oh, yes.
Yeah. So I have been back in a part of the church ever since, and I've had to even make some adjustments in that as well. As I grew and as I understood what it is that the Word of God was saying to me as an individual, and not so much looking for someone else to clarify it for me. That growth allowed me to continue to move my way into freedom. And I feel like with Rahab, she was able to do some of the same things. And so my next book is really going to be about her journey into the promised land. And so
and that's awesome. Not to cut you off, that's awesome, because I've never heard of Rahab until you brought it to my attention when I heard you speak at the women's empowerment event, Mimosas, Melanin and Mimosas. I had never heard of Rahab before. So this is something. So what really, how did you get into Rahab? What made her your person that you could connect with, instead of Ruth, instead of I can't even think of any other. Oh, Esther, instead of, any other women in the Bible. What made it her that stood out, and how did she even come about? Because I never heard of her.
So, part of my journey in church was spent in a very small country church with a pastor who had a prophetic call.
Got you.
Okay.
Yes.
And, so his teachings were real personable for us. And one day in Bible study, he asked us to read the Bible, and decide, like he gave us some restrictions, which was find a woman in the Bible who best represents you.
Awesome.
And my first instinct was to choose the woman who's called the mother of faith, and that is Sarah, right? Abraham's wife. Because I did know that faith was a part of who I am.
Gotcha.
But when we went back to church, one of the things that he, when I told him who I chose, he took me back and start over. Because he said he understands why I did that, because I immediately attached myself to the positive things that I was reading about these women. But each of us and each of those women in the Bible had something that was derogatory, or something that was holding them back, or whatever. So he sent us back to the drawing board. And so we began to read. And when we came back, I still didn't necessarily choose Rahab. Because I did know who I was, and I wasn't ready to confess that in front of everybody. But she kind of got pushed to the side. But then he basically told me that, and I wanted to be mad at him because I felt like, did he just call me a hoe? Is that really fair to me? And he, at that point, told me, you need to go and you need to study her, and you need to see her for who she is, and don't attach those things, those stigmas, those titles, the way you know it, to her when you do it. And so that taught me a lot. It taught me a lot of things about Bible. I had to really study and not just read it. I had to look up words. I had to determine what was happening in her time, during her living, what was going on, how were women treated, and what choices did she have, and those kinds of things. So it made me really think about her. And what I found out was that what he was showing me was not necessarily what I was at that moment, but it was, sorry, I didn't hear that last part. It wasn't what I was at the moment we were studying it, but she was who I would become.
There you go. Wow.
Okay. So, yeah. So I walked away really mad at him, but as I grew and moved through this life, and like you say, that healing process begins, and I really get to know myself, and I really start my life unfold, I realized just how much we are alike. But writing that book really opened up a lot for me. That book was not called The Evolution of Rahab when I first started writing. But when I finished, I couldn't think of naming it anything else. Wow. Because I really grew up. So looking forward to the next book. Like, I've already started working on it, and I'm really looking forward to kind of putting that information out. So, yeah, I'm excited. Awesome. Tell people where they can find your book. You can buy it on Amazon. You can purchase it in Books A Million. Where it's, and you can order it offline my website too. You can go to my website at beempoweredworldwide.com.
Awesome, awesome. And I am going to definitely, you know what? When you said he asked you all to find a woman in the Bible who represents you, that came to my mind. Something came to my mind. And I want to really do that for my granddaughter and do that for my daughters. And I think that is so powerful in how you can go and look to see someone that may represent where you are or where you have been, to see the outcome of who this woman became. So I think that is so powerful. Because we don't talk about women in the Bible, for one. That's something that we really don't discuss too much. So for you to even call this book The Evolution of Rahab, and truly be on that journey and see the journey of her. And also just stand in your truth, even now. That's powerful. So I'm proud of you. I want to tell you that. I'm definitely so proud of you.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh, because that is it's something that we need to see as women, and acknowledging it in each other. Like, girl, I see your strength, girl. Go, you go. And to also gravitate to someone who is doing that. We don't gravitate to mentors. We don't want mentors. Girl, I got this, that type of deal. And I think that is so powerful, Kim. I admire you. I definitely admire you for standing in your strength.
Thank you.
If you could go back and talk to your younger self, what advice would you give the young Kim?
I think the biggest thing that I have considered telling her is, there's a lot of wisdom in your elders. There's a lot of wisdom there. And you might not understand it when they're giving it to you, but it's a seed planted and it will come back to help you. So just listen. Listen.
Yeah. Whew. If you could describe yourself in one word, what would that one word be?
Strong. Yeah. I am strong enough to withstand, strong enough to overcome. I am strong enough to be vulnerable. I am strong.
Amen. I think that is so amazing. And definitely strength is important. And do you feel as though, because I always say, Black women especially, we're looked at as to be strong. We're raised in that way. We're raised to be strong. Not so much strong now that I'm thinking about it when you broke it down in that way. But independent, definitely.
Yes.
But strong also is vulnerability. Oh, God, you just gave me a new way to look at strong. I love that you broke it down in that way. Yes. Oh, my gosh, Kim. Okay, so what's next for you?
Well, I have spent the summer just trying to make sure that my nonprofit is being exposed to Myrtle Beach and the Horry County area. So that is my focus. My focus is to be a mentor for young girls. We have a program right now called SEAL. So it's a social emotional literacy, arts, and life skills program.
Yes.
And I want to, and it's for girls 10 to 15. We also have another program for the 16 to 18-year-olds, but that's a one-on-one program, one-on-one mentoring, where we help them to prepare for college and career readiness. And so what Empower does is we make sure that they're educated. We help them to advocate for themselves, and we support them along the way. And then we teach them how to support others. We want to be able to pass it on. We want them to be able to see that their classmate is having a rough time and be able to give them some support like we give to them. So that's my biggest portion on my plate right now. Because I got lost at that age, and I want to make sure that my making it to freedom doesn't leave anybody behind.
Yes.
So, I'm here. I know what the promised land is now. I know the route to get there. So let me show you, teach you, guide you. But I want to do it in a way that they feel valued, that they feel valued and loved and respected. And I want to do it in a way that teaches them how to give themselves that same love and respect. So, yes. That's the biggest portion of my plate right now, just getting that program moving forward. I feel like we can make a huge difference in cities, and I am going to just push until it's what God wants it to be. He gave me this about 12 years ago, and I'm in a place now. I made a whole bunch of but God, I got this, and but God, I'm doing that, and put it on the back burner for some time, and He moved every one of those obstacles out of my way. And so He would say, "Okay, I'm gonna do this, and I'll do it well. I'm gonna do exactly what I want, and I'm gonna, keep my hands to the grind, and that's what I'm doing."
Awesome.
And then book.
Yes, and you're writing a book. Listen, so SEAL, do you guys have any events coming up or any fundraisers or anything like that?
So I'm working, SEAL is always fundraising. If there is you can go to PayPal and and donate. You can go to my website and donate. You can go to my Facebook page and donate. Everything that is Be Empowered Worldwide has a donation tab. It's always taking donations, no matter how big or small. If you got $1, send it to me. I promise to put it to use to help some young lady find her way. Yes. I am working with another group of ladies where we're doing a survivors gala at the end of October. You're invited to that too, right?
Yes, I'll be speaking. Yes.
I'm about that. It's really coming together. The young lady's name is Toya Graham. She's a fireball.
Yes.
Right? All those things that I am not, right?
Shout out to you, Toya.
Do it, and she'll never stop moving. And so I'm really grateful to have connected with her on this and to watch her put this together, and to support her as much as I can so that it comes to fruition for her, because she's had this dream in her heart for a while. So working on her with that, and those are kind of the things that we're going to close the year out with. SEAL is ongoing. If you have a young lady who is not in the Horry County area and that are interested, I can definitely offer a online connection for them if that's something that is necessary. I'm worldwide. The vision is worldwide. Wherever you are, whatever you need, just connect with Be Empowered through our website, and we will be more than happy to accommodate, because that's what we're here for.
And now run your socials again, Kim, real quick.
So you can go to Facebook. We are Be Empowered Worldwide. You can go to Instagram, and we are B, like BEE dot empowered. And then, so you just kind of put a dot in the middle after the second E. And then you can find us at beempoweredworldwide.com.
Awesome. That is amazing. Ooh, healing the nation, baby. That's our charge.
That's the charge.
That is our charge.
You know, there's so much going on in this world. It's hard for adults. We don't always, take into consideration, not everyone doesn't always take into consideration what's happening with our children, or, and how this really affects them, any of it. Because if mom and dad's affected, the children are affected, know. And if mom and dad are not present, then who is giving them what they need to stay focused and to move forward? And so, that's that. I just want to honor God's will.
You're doing a great job at it, so keep doing it. Keep doing it. Thank you for coming on, speaking with me. I really appreciate you. Keep going. Keep moving forward. You have been tuned in to Wind Down Wednesday with your girl Soulz Journey, and I've been sitting on the porch with Kimberly Weeks, baby. Be empowered.